Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on the Kaya necklace. And the Kaya necklace uses AVA beads. So recently I did a bracelet using AVA beads, and that's the AVA wrap. So we did that, and that video is up if you want to take a look at that. So now we're going to make the necklace. So I've paired the necklace here with the summer solstice earrings, which I think is a great combination. So you can take a look at those as well. All right, so here's the necklace. And it's a bib style necklace, and it's using AVA beads. And then we have these, so it's all woven here. And then here we have this 3 strands, and I've ended it with a 3-ring bar and a hook and eye closure. All right, so let's get a materials list going so we can get started on this necklace. Now I'm going to make it in different beads today because I don't have any more of these beads. So I'm going for, and I'll just show you real quick something I'm working on. We're going for copper. So this is the look I'm going for, but I will put all the materials for this color in the description box below the video, so don't forget to look there. All right, so we're going to need some AVA beads, and here I'm using vintage copper, and I love this vintage copper. You'll need 39 of them. I don't have 39 to put out, but these are so pretty. I just got these in the mail, and I love, look at this color. It's matte and rich and just beautiful. Love it. Okay, so need those. Then you'll need some 4mm round beads, and I'm using pearls, and these are purple, iridescent purple. So I love this copper and purple theme. So I've got all different colors going here between the necklace and the bracelet. You're going to need some 2mm, these are Heishi beads, and these are Heishi slices, and they're imperial jasper. And this, what I'm giving you right now, is partially for this part, the pearls, but I'm giving you this, also this part here, the strands. So if you want to make it different, then you can really use anything on the strands. Just this, the sizes of the beads are gonna, be more important. All right, so you can choose anything as far as these are concerned. Okay, you're going to need some 6/0 seed beads. And these, again, are just for these accent pieces. So here I've used O beads on this one. And like I said, I'm going to put everything in the description box for this one. But these are going to be just the spacer bead that's in between each group of colors. All right. I'm going to need 11/0 seed beads. And I'm using a Toho seed bead here. And this is copper, metallic copper. And these are also metallic copper. You're going to need some 0.014 inch diameter beading wire. Let me see if I can get rid of that shadow, that glare, I mean. And this is SoftFex Beading Wire. You're going to need some Fireline, and because part of this is strung, and part of it is using SoftFex beading wire. So this part right here, we're going to use thread, and over here we're going to use beading wire. So it's a combo. All right, so that I'm using here black satin Fireline. Love, wonderful stuff. If you watch my videos, you know I'm always complaining about the color coming off smoke Fireline. This is so great. It's so great using this again. All right, you're going to need a clasp. I'm using a 3-ring tube bar clasp, and this has the rings going this way rather than the opening facing me. I don't think I've ever used one of those before. You need some crimp beads, and here, optional, some crimp covers if you want to get fancy and cover your crimps. A little stop bead, size 11 beading needle. You could probably use a 10 also if that's what you have. Let's see, let me make sure that, did I say that this is 8-pound Fireline? Okay, I think we're pretty good. So gather up your materials. I'm gonna get started making the Kaya necklace. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. So I put the silver one away, and so because I wanted to show you this is what we're going for here. Now in my camera, it doesn't look as deep and coppery as it does in person. So I don't know if it's coming across this way or not on the video, but it is such a beautiful copper color. Love it. All right, so let's cut some wire. So cut a 35-inch piece of wire. Actually, you need 3 35-inch pieces of wire. The necklace is 24 inches. This is what I'm going for. You can make yours longer. Just the middle is going to be the same. The bib part, just go longer on your on the necklace part over here. So for a 24-inch necklace, cut 35 inches, and I'm giving, you know, of SoftFex beading wire. If you have these little spring kind of stoppers, these are great so your beads don't fall off. If not, I think you know, just tie, you have enough at the end, either end, just tie like a little knot in the end like that. And I think that's fine. All right, so I'm going to get you started because the first 2 rows of this are pretty easy. It's just the last one and the weaving the beads on that, you know, I think I should spend a little bit more time with you. So I'll get you started on this. I'm using a smaller piece so that I can stay in frame. So really what we're doing here is we're picking up an AVA bead, just like that. Come through the top point, like so. Here, I'll just go this way. Okay, just like that. Then pick up an 11-0 and a pearl. And I don't know if I said that these are iridescent purple. I'm going to put all the, you know, names of everything in the description box, but that's the name of this bead, just like that. All right, then pick up another AVA bead. Come through the point, top, like that again. Bring that one down. All right, so this is what you have. Pick up an 11-0 and a pearl. Pick up an AVA. Bring that down. So you're just going to string 13, excuse me, 13 beads. Pearl, excuse me, 11-0 pearl, AVA, just like that, 11-0 pearl, AVA, like that. Okay, so this is basically the first, you know, the center part. You're going to do this with 13 beads. Okay, so you're going to have the AVAs at either end, and then we're going to start, you know, you do that whole center part, the first row, and then what you want to do is you're going to take 6 of your pearls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A spacer or a 6-0. I'm using a copper 6-0, just like that. Right? I should pull in a teeny bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to do 8 of the 2 millimeters. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now you can change this and do it, you know, exactly how you like it. This part is really, you know, you get like really creative with this part. Okay. Another spacer bead, just like that. 6 more pearls. So just put on 6 pearls. Here, I'll do 6 with you one more time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another spacer, just like that. And that's going to be your pattern, just all the way around. So you want to do that on both sides. So you'll just, you know, when you're done with this side, you'll tie that side or put a crimp on it, untie this one, and do your beads, your other length on the other side. And I did one, let's see, I'll count them. I'm going to pull out a teeny bit. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of beads to make my length. Now you have to adjust that length to, you know, fit your neck. So as I said, this is 24 inches. As I said, the center is going to stay the same no matter what size you make, you know, make it to go around your neck. Now, one other thing, just a heads up. When you come to the end, you're going to be, not now, but later, we're going to be crimping this. So you want to make sure that when you fold your thread around your crimp bead, that you're going to be able to get through whatever beads are here. So just a heads up on pearls, sometimes it's really hard, sometimes it's not, but sometimes it's hard to get through a pearl again. So I would suggest that you just use like maybe 3 of the 6/0s, or a larger whole bead, towards the end of the clasp. We won't add much on, just a couple, you know, just that much. It's not a big deal. So you can get through those beads, because it's going to be, it'll be very frustrating if you get there and then you can't get through the pearls. So maybe put 3 at the end, like that. All right, so go ahead and string the first strand, both sides, and then meet me back here, and then I'll get you started on getting the second strand on. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back. And I've gotten my little piece done. So this is our first strand, okay? And now we're going to put on the next round of AVA beads. So I just kind of pick them up and, you know, put them next to it, just like that. So you're just going to string through with 1 11/0 in between each leg, this point. Right between each leg of the AVA beads. So here I'm just coming through. If I can find the hole, there we go. And it just helps me to push the beads out of the way before I put, you know, the next bead on. So it's just coming through like that. I'm going to pick up my 11/0 like that. Then I'm going to come through. I'm going to pull that down. I'm going to come through the next AVA bead and just connect that point in there, just like that. Okay, and then I just pull it down. There's another 11/0. So pick up the 11/0, just like that, through the AVAs. That. It's a little clumsy. I'm a little more clumsy probably than most. Okay, pick up an 11/0. Here we go. Now we're getting a rhythm going. AVA, attach the AVA, come on through. Ah, better. Pick up an 11/0. Another AVA. Through. This is much easier not on camera, so it's not as difficult as it looks when I'm doing it. It's just, there we go. All right, so now we have that next strand, you know, row on. Of course, you're doing 13 beads, and I'm just doing a small sample here. All right, so get that done, and then do your same lengths of this piece of wire, and do that same length, the same as this one, or whatever pattern you like, and then meet me back here and we'll start weaving the center pieces in and continue on getting this necklace done. Okay, see. Okay, we're back, and I've pulled out my full-size sample so I can show you how to get this center portion done. All right, so I've cut my 35 inches of SoftFlex, and here I've got my pearls, I've got my 3 millimeters and my AVAs. So I'm just going to come through and attach an AVA just like that. And then in between that AVA, I'm going to put on a 2 millimeter bead, just like that. Then I'm going to put on another AVA, like that. through, just like that, and I'm going to put on another 2mm bead, just like that. Okay, I'm going to put on another AVA, like that. And this is, as I was saying on the previous round, so much easier when I'm not trying to do it on camera. I'm a little clumsy with the AVAs, but I'm working on it. So one more 2mm, come through the next AVA bead, and sometimes it helps to kind of hold the bead up. I don't know, however it is the easiest way for you to get through these beads. I'm, not the, as I said, not the best at getting through them, but I'm working on it. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3 of your 2mm beads. Now, pick up a 4mm pearl, put that one in between the next 2 AVA beads, just like that. Okay. Put on another AVA bead. I can do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then put on a 2mm again, and another AVA bead, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to take another 2mm and attach another AVA bead, just like that. Oh, it takes me a little time to get it, but eventually you'll get through. Okay, that one worked pretty well. Okay, that's 1, 2. So then let's do that again. Pick up another 2mm, put that in between, attach another AVA, or maybe this will work out better. Okay, and I've got a plugged AVA, which is okay. So what you want to do here is you want to poke through the part that's more open until you poke through with a needle, or excuse me, a pin, like a safety pin or a straight pin, until you get that cleared out. That's very common in 2-hole beads. You can get a bead reamer, which I think is a great idea, and that's something that I'm going to add to my tools very shortly. Here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, and then one more 2mm between the AVAs. Add an AVA, just like that. Okay, so what we have so far is we have 1, 2, 3 2mm in between the first 3 AVAs. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then we've got a pearl, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 2 millimeters in between the next group of AVAs, and then we're putting on another pearl. We're going to come through. The AVA beads. Just like that. Oh, I'm getting better. And then you're going to put on one, two, three more 2 millimeters. Okay. So that's one. Two. And I bet you could actually work right along with me, because I'm very slow with the AVA beads. But they're worth it. It's really very pretty. Okay, that's one more. Got that one through. Put on a 2 millimeter. Last AVA bead. Through. Yay! I did it! All right, and then I'm just going to sort of even out my threads. So now you have your entire center portion done as far as connecting the beads. And if you notice, it's nice and flat. So the way I figure it out is, you know, I put all my beads out, and as I'm stringing, I can see whether this is going to lay, you know, pick it up like this. See how it's nice and fluid and laying flat? That's important. And, you know, sometimes you need to play with the beads quite a bit in order to get the proper size to make something lay flat. Like, you know, if you've ever come across, you know, a time when you've made a necklace like this and all of a sudden it's all wonky and bent and wrinkled. That's so frustrating. So here you go. So get to this point. So just to go over it again, we have 1, 2, 3, 2 millimeters, a 4 millimeter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 millimeters, a 4 millimeter, and then 1, 2, 3, 2 millimeters in between the AVAs. And that gives us a nice fluid, flat piece to lay around your neck nicely. Okay, so get that done and then be back here and we'll continue. Okay, we're back and we are done with the SoftFex wire portion of the necklace. So now thread a needle with your Fireline and put on a stop bead. Leave yourself enough of a tail to sew in, and I'd say about 30 inches, 25. I'm generous. I don't want to run out. So, all right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come through this AVA right here. I'll pull in a little bit. Just like that. All right. Bring that through. And then we're going to pick up an 11-0, a pearl, an 11-0. It's like that. And I'm going to come through the other side of that AVA. And that's going to put on the start of this little unit that we're going to put on the bottom. Then pick up a 2 millimeter, come through the next AVA. Just like that. Then we're going to pick up that same sequence of 11-0 pearl, 11-0. I'm going to come through the other leg of that AVA bead, just like that. And make sure that they sit nicely against the bead. So you might have to just sort of play with them a little so they sit nicely there. And then we're going to take 2 of our 2 millimeter beads, just like that. Come through the next leg of the next AVA, just like that. Pull that through, just like that. Then we're going to pick up that same 11-0 pearl, 11-0, come through the next leg, just like that. Make sure that's sitting nicely, just like that. Then pick up one 2mm. Just like that. Pick up your sequence again, an 11-0, a pearl, an 11-0. Come through the next leg of the next AVA, just like that. Make sure you pick up the slack in your thread, just like that. So I have a 2mm, two 2mm, a 2mm, and then we want to pick up two more 2mm beads, come through the next AVA bead, just like that. All right. And you're going to pick up your sequence of a 11-0 pearl, 11-0, come through the next AVA bead, okay, and then pick up one 2mm, come through the next bead, just like that. So I'm just counting my sequence. So I have a 1 2mm, two 2mm, 1 2mm, two 2mm, 1 2mm, and then two. First put on your sequence pearl, 11-0 pearl, 11-0, and I've got another stuck AVA, so make sure you have your pin nearby and give it a little poke. This one's fighting me a little bit. There we go. Alright, so put on your next, maybe just hold it up and put on your next sequence, and then put on two 2mm, come through the next AVA, just like that. Okay, put on your sequence, 11-0, pearl, 11-0, like so, just like that. And then we're going to take two of your 2mm, come through the next AVA. So yes, I know we have two 2mm in a row. This is just to get the spacing right. But it's all equal on either side. So it, you know, it's all set properly. Okay, just like that. And then 1 2mm, come through the next AVA bead, like that. Pick up your sequence, 11-0 pearl, 11-0, come through the next one. And again, make sure you have your, don't pull it so tight that it's going to start buckling, but just make sure you have, you know, pretty much your thread pretty much comfortably in between your beads. Okay, so then we're going to take two 2mm again, and then our sequence, 11-0 pearl, 11-0 through the next one, just like that. I'm making sure that I'm pulling these so that I don't have too much thread between the AVA beads. So then I have 2, so then I'm going to put 1 in the next one. 1 2mm. Just like that. Okay, then I'm going to take my sequence again, 11/0, a pearl, and an 11/0. Come through the next leg. And I'm just pulling these down a little bit just to make sure they come through, because it's an odd path through the AVA. Kind of, the AVA bead, it doesn't go, the hole isn't straight across, it kind of goes down a little bit, so you have to make sure you pull your, your thread so it, it sits nicely. Okay, so let me just check my sequence. So I'm going back to the 2, just in case you lost. So I have 2, 2, 1, 2, 2mm, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So then 2 more. Come on through. Pick up your sequence again, pearl, 11/0 pearl, 11/0. Come through the next AVA bead, make sure your threads are good. Pick up a 2mm, come through the next AVA bead, 11/0 pearl, 11/0. Come through the other side, just like that. All right, so now you have the next round on. And here, let me just move this out of the way and back off a little bit so we can take a look at it. All right, so you see we're sitting nice and flat. The spacing is good. If I hold it up, it's falling nicely. It's not buckling. Now at this point, we're curving, right? So I can't do it on camera, but you can put it on your neck and see how that curve is feeling on your neck. And I mean, your neck may be curved a little bit differently, or where it's falling. It depends on where it falls. This is not really a collar. It's more of a bib, so it's going to be a little bit longer. Maybe I can pull this guy. So it's going to come down a little bit more like that rather than tight around your neck, unless you want it tight around your neck. But the way I'm spacing it, it's going to come down a little bit. Okay, so get to this point, and then we're gonna just put a stop bead. Okay, so here I'm coming out of the other side. So then just grab a stop bead. Let me find a stop bead. Here we go. You have a million stop beads around, and then when you want one, you can never find one. So I'm just going to take a stop bead. I'm going to put it on the end. This is so the beads don't fall off, right? All right, and just put it there because we're going to sew this in. So I have a stop bead at either end, and I have all my beads on, and I do have a lot of thread left. So maybe you can do a 20 inches. I'm just, as I said, I overestimate and waste too much thread. All right, so then get to this point, and then meet me back here, and we'll put on the rest of this embellishment on the bottom, and then we'll be able to, get close to completing the necklace. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're coming down to the wire. No pun intended. All right, so I've gotten this row of beads on, and just before we continue, you have the opportunity at this point, because you're not sewn in, to look around and see if you need to change your spacing at all. Maybe you need to pull your thread a little bit to make sure that your beads are, there's not too much thread showing. So I'm just gonna make sure that everybody's nice and happy. That looks pretty good to me. You don't want it so tight that it's gonna buckle, but you don't want too much thread showing. So I'm just gonna pull a little bit more just to get these straight. Like I said, there's an odd whole direction, so you want to make sure that that's nice and straight. Now I did put this around my neck and I looked to see how it was going to lay, and it was laying beautifully. So if it's not laying beautifully for you, then you need to adjust the size of your beads a little bit, okay? So here we go. We're going to put on our last group of beads. So thread your needle again with some Fireline. I'd say go 25 inches with this, because you are going to be doing, you know, you're going to make a little sort of right angle weave unit. So you're going to be going through the beads a little bit. All right, so here we are. Come through the hole on the AVA, and like I said, again, it's an odd direction of the hole, so you might have to just come through the hole and then come through the other beads. So just come through the hole like that. Okay. Leave yourself a little tail, and then come through the 11-0 and the pearl, just like that. Pick up 3 pearls. Coming out of here, just come around to get that little unit on, just like that. Come up to the pearl, excuse me, the 11-0 and the AVA, just like that. Come through the 2mm, the AVA and the 11-0. Come through the pearl. Pick up 3 pearls. Coming out of this side of the pearl. Come around. Just like that. Come to the 11-0, the AVA. And don't pull too tight so that it buckles. You want it nice and fluid. Come through the 2mm and the 11-0. Come through the the pearl. Pick up 3 pearls. Coming out of this side of your pearl, come around. Just like that. Come through the 11-0 and the AVA. Like I said, if you have to do them separately because of the direction of the hole, then you can certainly do that. This one I will here. Just like that. The 11-0. And the pearl. Just like that. 3 pearls. Coming out of here. Just come around. Just like that. So that's what we're going to do all the way around. I love it. I think that's so pretty. They kind of look like little berries or something. So then just keep going all the way around through the bottom pearl until you have all your little embellishment on the bottom. And you really can do anything down here as well. So, you know, I'm thinking, wow, wouldn't some pretty purple dagger beads, maybe 3 beads to get dagger beads together, you know, to make a real, you know, sort of, you know, really statement necklace. All right, so do that and then put a stop bead on the end like you did with the other 2. We'll sew these in later, and then meet me back here and we're going to crimp the ends. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back and I'm all done with all the stringing and the weaving, and I haven't sewn any of my threads in yet, but we'll get to that. Right now I want to get some of the crimps on and the clasp on. So this is what it looks like. I'm just going to pull this piece out and just sort of concentrate on this side. Okay, so if you notice that they're not quite even, the strands, and that's because there's a different, you know, there's not straight across here, different spaces. I'm fine with that. You can kind of play with that if you want. If you want them all even, then, you know, add another bead or take one away or whatever. They're close enough as far as I'm concerned, for this necklace anyway. So I'm just going to pull out one strand right here, and I'm going to clip, put my stopper bead, this little spring or something on the end, because you can lose these beads so easily and it's so frustrating. That happens to me all the time. So here we go. I've shortened my thread to a little more manageable piece. It actually could even be shorter. And so here's my strand. I'm going to take here's my clasp. I'm just going to keep the clasp together because that works out best for me, just like that. I'm going to take a crimp, the clasp, and I'm going to put it on one end like that. I'm going to come down the crimp bead, through the crimp bead, and through the I have three 6/0 seed beads at the end. Now remember, if you have pearls here, or a bead that has a very small hole, you might not be able to get through that hole. So make sure that the beads at the end are going to be small, or the hole's going to be big enough so you're not going to get frustrated and you'll be able to get that clasp on. Okay, so here we go, just like that. I'm not going to let this buckle up too much. I'm going to do it tight, but I don't want to, you know, you don't want the thing to be all buckled. You want it, this is just experience, and believe me, I mess it up all the time. So it's just snug enough. I'm going to push that crimp bead towards the beads. I don't mind if this hole here, or this loop, excuse me, of wire is a little bit bigger. I just don't want too much space in between the beads. So by pulling this down, and if it is, you know, this is soft enough wire that you can kind of pull it up. You're not going to really kink it. So here I have it like so. I'm using my flat nose pliers to crimp because my crimp tool is not working well, but you can use a crimp tool. So I'm just going to squeeze, and that's going to make me a nice flat crimp, just like that. All right, then I'm going to take the second strand, just like that, and I'm going to make sure that I clip the third strand out of the way. I really do recommend getting those little spring stoppers if you're going to do some wire work. It's just much less frustrating, so you don't lose the beads. So I'm coming through the next ring on the clasp, just like that. Okay. Oops, no I'm not. Let's put on a crimp first. There we go. Come through. Down the other side and through the few beads on the strand, just like that. A little pull, just like that. Hold it, squeeze it really tight, or use your crimp tool. Now you've got your next strand on. So go ahead and do that for the third one, and then do the same thing. So after you get that third one done, just like this, you're going to connect it to the strands on the other side, just like that. Let me pull out a little bit. Okay, so you know, hold your clasp like this and make sure you're connecting the right strand to each ring. Okay, so go ahead and get that done, and then meet me back here, and we'll sew in the ends here. All right, see you in a few. Okay, we're back, and I have all my ends on, and I put some crimp covers on because I only had the silver crimps. I don't really think you need to if you have the proper color, but it does kind of give it a nice finished look. So I have one last one to put on, and I wanted to share with you this crimp tool that I bought. Crimp cover tool that I bought. So I don't know what else you could use this for. This is a 1 used tool. I think it was like 10 bucks. So you're supposed to pick up the crimp cover, and here you put it over the crimp. Okay, so let's see if you can see that. See, I'm putting it right over the crimp. Just make sure you're not you're not squishing anything else like that. See? And then just try again. See, up to this point, I've just been using my flat nose pliers to squeeze the crimp cover. So here we go. Ow. Okay. Oh wow, that worked. Actually, that worked really well. That kind of works better than my flat nose pliers. I don't know if you want to invest in this, but just thought I'd show it to you, just to give you an option. This one, like, it's a crimp cover pliers, just like that. I don't know what else I can use it for though, so that's it. All right, so anyway, I left one of my wires out. So just, here I've just threaded it through, and I'm just gonna clip that off. Wow, that worked better than I thought. I've tried it before, it didn't really work that well, so I guess it's just practice. All right, so let's sew these ends in. So don't forget to take off your stop beads. I'm gonna sew this one in first, where I did the first pearl on. So I'm just gonna thread my needle. Just like that. At the end. And so here I am, I'm coming out of the side of the AVA bead, and this thread I'm just going to hold aside. I'm going to pick up 2 11-ohs. I'm just going to come through the hole at the top of that AVA bead, just like that. And that just puts a couple of beads right there. If it interferes with the bead above it, then only put 1 or put a smaller bead. But so far this seems to be working out okay. And then all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to come through the other leg of that AVA bead. And again, these are, the hole is like in an odd position, so getting through. And also we have a wire in there, but you should be able to make it just like that. And just make sure you haven't, push that AVA bead out, hold it so it goes like that. And then just tie a knot, a half hitch knot here, and then go through another couple of beads, just like that. All right, tie a half hitch knot. Just make sure I'm not caught on anything. Let's see. Taking that out because I think I got caught on a bead. Okay. So I'm coming out of the top of that AVA. There we go. Just like that. Just going to come through the AVA and the 2 millimeter. And I'm just going to tie another half hitch. And you can do this all the way down, as far as you like. Just to tie that thread in. So I'm just going to stop there. And that's how the end is going to look. So you'll have 2 little 11-ohs there. And then just take and thread the other thread that was coming out, the other end. So thread your needle. And it's coming out the bottom as well. So all you're just going to do is go up the 2 11-ohs back through the AVA and, do it again. Just tie a couple of knots, come through again, tie a couple of knots, and then just do this on the other side as well. And then you should be all sewn in, and then meet me back here and we'll take a look at our necklaces. I'll see you in a few. Okay, we're back, and here are our necklaces. So here's the turquoise and black, and here's the copper, the one we just made today, the copper and the purple. And I twisted the ends because I was trying to fit them in frames, so twisting them helped, but they look pretty twisted as well. So just to show you the end on this one, this is going to be a little longer necklace because I have the this this end on, so it's going to give me more space, a longer necklace. This one, because I've just closed it with the 3-ring tube bar, it's going to be a little shorter. It's still, I believe, still 24 inches or 22 inches, something like that. Just don't worry about length until you do the sides, because this is going to be the same no matter what. This is not going to change, this part. It's this part that's going to give you your length, so you can always change that. Just make sure you make your wires long enough. All right, so here we go. Here's the Kaya necklace. I don't have a pair of earrings for the purple one, but I did order, I'm going to make the same earring, only I'm going to do it with, of course, purple and copper pearls, and so that'll be nice to have a set with this one too. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.